Okay. Right. Good evening, everybody. So thank you very much for joining us. I am so excited to introduce our guest speaker this evening. I've known this lady for a fair few years now, and it's been amazing watching her grow as a person, as her business has grown. And it gives me great delight to introduce to you Callie Jenkins, because her story is absolutely amazing. She's the first Welsh PMD. She got to NMD in super quick time. So I think it was 4 months, wasn't it? Was it 4 months, Callie? Yeah, 4 months. And then 1 month later to IMD. So absolutely meteoric rise. And, you know, I've loved watching you, as I say, as you've sort of grown and developed. And you now have a massive business. And one of which, you know, I bow down to you. I'm in absolute awe of. So it's fantastic to welcome you to our call this evening. And I've just got a couple of questions that I'm going to ask to you, if that's all right. So just tell us a little bit about your background. So what were you doing before you came into Juice Plus?
Okay, so before Juice Plus, I worked as a part-time bar assistant in a golf club. So obviously working full-time, and as you know, in golf clubs, in the winter months, we'd work around 20, 30 hours. Come the summer months, we'd work anything up to 60 hours. So after having my children, I decided I didn't want to go back to working evenings, weekends, and everything else that come with it. So I only went back to work part-time, working 16 hours a week. So I would work 2 days a week, but the less I worked, the less I wanted to work. And anyone who's friends with me on Facebook will know me, you know, everything is about my children. So having to leave my children to go to work every day, I hated it. I was at babysitters. Before they started school, I'd have to put them both in crash, and it would actually cost me more money to put them in crash than what I actually earned. So it was a bit of a nightmare, really, but I knew that I had to persevere, because once the kids were in school, I needed a job. So that's where I kind of stayed, and I stayed there for 9 years.
Right.
So that's my story before Juice Plus.
Yeah.
I don't want to go further to the other question.
No, I'm going to say, so I was then going to say, so how did you find Juice Plus? You know, how were you actually introduced to Juice Plus?
Okay, so I was on Facebook, and this girl added me, and she was really annoying me with all these before and after pictures. And I was there, you know, it was coming up to Christmas, and I was there drinking, stuff in my face, and just getting fatter, really. And I could see all these pictures, and I thought, you know what, as soon as Christmas is over and done with, I'm going to join. I'm going to give these shakes a go. And like everyone else, I knew nothing about health or nutrition. So I kind of thought that I was going to drink these shakes, and I was going to wake up 2 stone lighter. And I had no idea I had to eat healthy or anything like that. Like, I had no idea. I just thought I was going to drink a shake, and it was going to be some sort of miracle shake. So after Christmas, I joined for the shakes. I thought, right, I'm going to give these a go. And then an hour later, I seen Jodie, the girl I bought the shakes from, posting a recruiting post. It was literally recruiting now, and that was it. That's all it said. And I was like, oh, what's this about then? And she told me a bit about it. She told me all the commissions wrong. She told me everything wrong. So basically, all I knew I was doing was paying £65, because that's how much it was at the time, to join the business. And in my head, I kind of thought, well, she just made X amount of money off me in one sale, because I paid the 4 months up front. Right. So I thought, oh, why not? I'll give it a go, even if it's just a little extra money every month. I mean, I was only a part-time barmaid, so I was only earning £530 a month anyway. So I was thinking, well, even if I can just earn an extra 200 or 300 a month, that would be fantastic for me. I had no idea how it was going to change my life or what was going to happen in the next few months. But yeah, that was it, really. It was just simple.
How did you start then? So, you know, you just saw this as, all right, I'll give it a go. So what were those first 6 months like for you? Tell us a little bit about your early days.
So when I started promoting, I wasn't actually on plan, because I hadn't started. I was waiting until the 2nd of January, once I got New Year's out of the way. So just kind of posted a few before and after pictures and things on Facebook to get people interested. One of my friends, my sister-in-law, signed up with me because we were going to do it together on the 2nd of January. So I had my first 2 customers just before the end of December. So my first ever wage was, I think, was £20 and 20 pence or something like that. And then January was when I really, really started. People are watching. They wanted to see what I was doing. Did it work? So I read this plan. I thought, right, okay, I have to follow it. Done my 2 weeks detox and lost £9. Posted
Wow.
on Facebook, and it just kind of went from there. So I was just more blogging my journey, showing people that it worked. And every time I put up a status saying, right, I've lost £6, I've lost £3, I was posting healthy recipes, before and after pictures. I was posting every time I went exercising, and I was just really, really excited that I felt amazing on plan, really, really healthy. I'd always suffered really bad with my skin. I had really bad acne year all the time. And it was always really worse in the winter. And I think that's because my diet was always worse in the winter.
Yeah.
And I could never ever get rid of it unless I went abroad. The sun was the only thing that would clear my skin up.
Yeah.
And then obviously I started this plan. But first my skin went worse because obviously cleansing from the inside out.
Detoxing, yeah.
My skin went really bad, but then all of a sudden it cleared up. Now, my skin will never be perfect because I've always had bad skin, but I don't have any spots whatsoever. So I would just be posting all of this, like everything about myself. If my skin was better, my energy levels were better, I was losing weight, I was feeling on top of the world. So I was just constantly posting this on Facebook. I didn't stop. And everyone who knew me could see the change in me. And it just went from there. Like every month people were watching my progress and other friends were joining, and then they were tagging me in posts because they were losing weight and they were feeling fantastic, saying, thank you, Callie, Juice Plus is fantastic. And all their friends were adding me. And then somebody else would tag me and all their friends would add me.
Wow.
And before I knew it, I'd gone up by like 2,000 friends. I've even sent a friend request. It was just absolutely insane. So my first month, I had 52 customers.
That's incredible.
My wage was £720, which was my first proper wage.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, oh my God, I've just earned £200 more than what I earned, driving half an hour to work, half an hour home, having to find babysitters. And I thought, wow. But you always think it's a fluke. You think, right, it's never going to last. We'll just make the most of it. So month number 2 then, I signed up 90 odd customers, and I think my second ever wage was something like £1,700. It was just insane. But my upline had actually put in the wrong bank details for me, and I didn't realise I didn't get paid my first ever wage. So instantly I thought it was a scam. So when I came to my second wage and I didn't have it, I thought it was a scam. I remember messaging Sinead and saying to Sinead, this is not for me. Like, no, I want to quit. And she hit the roof. Like, I'd started the business. I had 150 customers in 2 months. She was like, you were not going anywhere. You were staying. Obviously, I got my wages, and I kind of realised, right, okay, well, they've paid me. It's not a scam. This must be real.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went back into it and went from there. But I wouldn't build a team. I got to SC on my second month because I knew I had the RVC there. Didn't quite understand the business, and I didn't really care about the business. All I cared about was getting customers and having this wage at the end of the month. Yeah. So I signed my husband up and got him to DD to get myself over the line to SC. Right. Yeah. And then my upline kept saying to me, right, you need to build a team. And I said, I don't want a team. I'm not in it to do all of that stuff. I just want to earn a bit of extra money every single month. And then I realized that I couldn't get any further. So after my third month, I thought I had SSC in the bag, but it was like, no, like you need a team.
You've got to have that structure.
Yeah, I needed it. So like on my third month, I missed SSC because I was being silly. And then I started talking to my customers. Like all I done was take myself away, and I offered the business opportunity to every single customer that would take it. And I kind of said, I did talk about my wages. I kind of said, right, in these 2 and 3 months, this is what I've earned. And I've done that by myself. Do you want to join my team? And so many people went, yeah, I'll join, you know, earning money on Facebook. And then it just kind of went a bit crazy. I think in my first month, I missed about 3 or 4 STDs. And then the following month then, I kind of skipped SSC, QNMD, and went NMD. And it was kind of so real at the time. You don't really understand what you've just done. All you kind of see is, oh my God, look at all those bonuses. And that's all I seen at the time. And it wasn't until I hit IMD, and I probably got a little bit cocky because I kind of thought, oh my God, I'm earning all this money. I went spawning off on holidays and I wasn't really working. And I was thinking that my team would kind of do the work. And come August, I'd hit IMD, and come the August, it's a hard month. It's a summer month. Everyone's on holidays.
Yeah.
That was when it really started to hit me that my wages had dropped quite a bit.
Right.
My team was dropping off because it was becoming quiet and things. And it wasn't until the August, so being in the business for 8 months, that I actually started to learn about the business more than anything. So yeah, I didn't really know anything about the business till my 8th month, and oh, my hands up, I didn't. I was just on a high for the first few months, enjoying it and loving life.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, that enthusiasm and passion, obviously you just ran with that, and it just excited everybody that you talked to, and they just wanted to come with you without you actually realizing what you were doing almost. It's just amazing. So going back a few steps there, so what do you think was that first big breakthrough for you? So you missed out on going SSC. So what was the breakthrough? What do you think helped you to get over?
Absolutely. And I think that we all kind of get caught up where you think that, obviously we all use social media for recruiting. Michelle, I know you guys, you do it another way. But with us, it's all about social media. And I think that we get caught up thinking that posting on social media is how we stay active, but it's not. Taking yourself away from social media and actually making conversations, and never ruling anyone out, thinking, oh, I don't think she'll join my team, or maybe she won't. I just offered the opportunity to anyone and everyone, regardless of whether, I've heard people say, oh, I wouldn't like to work with her. But the way I see it, like, this has changed my life. Why should I not give them the same chance?
Opportunity, yeah.
The same opportunity, same chances as what I had. And I offer it to everyone and anyone. The worst they can say is no. But even if they say no, you've planted that seed in their head, and then they're always watching. And you'd be surprised how many people, I'm having people joining my team now who've been watching me for the full 3.5 years, and they're kicking themselves now that they didn't join.
I bet they are. I bet they are.
For them.
Yeah. I mean, we always say, I say to our our team, it's not necessarily a no, not ever. It's a no, not now. And sometimes it just takes people that little bit longer to say the yes. So tell me a little bit now about your DMO, your daily method of operation. What does your day, how do you structure it? Or how did you structure it when you were sort of going for PMD? What are the things that you think are really important to do every single day?
You know what? I done a joint Zoom call with Charlotte Lottie Bryan a few weeks ago. And I'm embarrassed to say that I've never actually had a DMO. And I was thinking to myself, when you sent me the question that I always get asked, should I kind of lie and say I have one and I can give you all the tips that work? But I don't want to lie because I've never ever had a DMO. Okay. I get up in the morning and I never ever post on Facebook as soon as I wake up. And the reason being is I'm not really a morning person. I haven't got that buzz, that motivation at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'll always wake up, I answer my messages, kind of check on my notifications and everything else. So I am working. I'm just not posting because I just haven't got that excitement at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Unless I wake up and I'm in a good mood, then you'll see me posting 7 o'clock in the morning. So I always wake up and check my messages first thing and check all my notifications. Then I get the kids ready for school. I do the school run and I come back. And then from 9 o'clock, that's when I kind of start working. The first thing I do, I'll always post. You usually find my first post will be my kids having a juice plus chewies to promote the chewies, or it'll be me having breakfast with my premium capsules or something along them lines. But like I was saying to my team, that it's not just about posting about premium capsules. Like, nobody knows what these are. Like, nobody has experienced what we have, the energy levels, the weight loss, better skin, hair, nails, and all of that. So, like, if you want to promote these capsules, you have to talk about the benefits. There's no point in just going, I'm having my magic beans, because nobody really knows what they are. So then I usually kind of hashtag things like healthy living, or love how much energy they give me, bouncing with energy, or I'll hashtag things like weight loss, clear skin, 30 types of fruit, veg and berries. And these are all the kind of things that I put towards it, because I don't see the point in just posting your premium capsules. Nobody will have a clue what they are, what they do. So if you're going to post about your premium capsules, I would always hashtag or write something about the benefits that you feel. So that's what I tend to do in the morning. It'll either be about my capsules, or be me having a healthy breakfast, or me bouncing with energy, or something along them lines. And then I've got 2 accounts. It's really hard because not everyone sees everything I do. But I'll always follow with a weight loss picture or a skin picture, or, you know, a testimonial for arthritis or something like that. I will always follow to show then the benefits that other people are experiencing, because I could be lying, I'm selling a product. They don't know if, you know, if I'm really bouncing with energy. So I'll post about them, and then I will follow with the testimonial, and it'll be weight loss. It could be the skin pictures or anything from the testimonial groups, just to show that they are the people and customers getting results as well. Then I'll always kind of post a healthy lunch, because again, what I want to show people is that we eat on plan. We don't live on shakes. Never have, never will. They are fantastic as a breakfast, or if you're busy and on the go. But I want to show people that we do eat. Another thing I do as well, because like if you post a meal picture, say 12 o'clock, the chances of, you know, 100% of your Facebook friends being online, you know, at 12 o'clock in the day, most of them are in work, etc. So what I tend to do as well, I have an album which is public, and I usually tend to add a lot of my meals into my album, because what you'll find then is, instead of people having to scroll through your whole wall, they'll see this whole album. So you're posting your lunch at 12 o'clock, but what you're actually bringing up there is an album with all your meals. So you could have 100, 200 meals in there maybe. And then they start to scroll through, so they not only see that one meal you've had that day, they're seeing all of these meals, and they're thinking, wow, I could actually do this plan. You know, I enjoy a clean shepherd's pie. I enjoy salmon. I enjoy chicken. And then they kind of seen all these different meals. So I usually tend to add my healthy meals into an album, so everyone can see all of these healthy meals.
I like that. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So how many posts do you do a day?
Again, it kind of depends on how busy I am. I never use Buffer. I think Buffer's fantastic if you're working and you can't get online.
Yeah.
But for me, it's all going back to the excitement. Because with me, it depends on how excited I am, you know, what sort of mood I'm in that day. I am human, I have off days, and then I just really don't want to post, because, you know, when you just can't think what to post, you're not in the right frame of mind. So usually I tell my guys to post anything from 5 to 10 times a day, mixing that up. Like, nobody wants to see before and after pictures all day long. They'll get bored. They'll end up unfriending you. Nobody wants to see a selfie of you 10 times a day. Nobody wants to see, you know, 10 pictures of your meals all day long. So you just got to mix that up. You've got to make sure that you're posting about the premium capsules, or you're posting about our shakes. You're posting weight loss, skin pictures, our chewables, you know, making sure you mention that they come free with our premium capsules. I tend to post an awful lot about my kids, mainly because I run my business around my kids. So I want mums like me to join my business. So by posting a lot about the kids, I don't want to, it's not I want to be the best mum in the world. What I'm trying to get at is showing people I have run this huge, successful business with my children around me all the time. It doesn't matter where we are, what we're doing, I can still run my business. And I want other people to see that. So that's a really good recruiting tool as well. So posting about your kids, you know, showing them you are running a successful business around them. You can work from anywhere at the end of the day. So yeah, and obviously recruiting as well. You know, you want to get her out there. Something basic like, would you join my team if there wasn't a £50 sign-up fee? Now, I'm not saying go ahead and sign everyone up and pay their sign-up fee, but at least you can see who is interested. So, yes, there's still going to be a £50 sign-up fee, but by liking that post, they're showing you, right, okay, I would join your team if there wasn't a £50 sign-up fee. So then you can make that interaction, and then you can kind of say, well, look, you know, I made £20 and 20 pence on my first day. It was as easy as that. And on my second month, this is what I had. Now, everyone is different. We've all got different experiences. But you can just tell them or show them how easy it is to make that £50 back. It's easy. I mean, and that was back when the shakes were £99 for the 4 month supply. So they're a lot more expensive now, which means the commissions are a lot higher. So, you know, just kind of breaking it down to them.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding is that, sorry, I'm going completely off now.
No, go on. It's fascinating.
Sorry. So what I tend to do when my guys who are not, they always say I'm not good at recruiting. I speak to loads of people, but I never seem to recruit. So I'll have a look at what they're writing, and they always seem to send this big, huge essay. And like after about the third line, I'm falling asleep. And I said to them, all you need to do is make it sound fun. What people want to know when they've got a 9 till 5 job, or, you know, they've got 3 or 4 kids, or, you know, whatever, they've got busy lifestyles. The last thing they want to hear about is, right, okay, you need X amount of customers, get to DD, then you get 14%. Then for SDD, you get, so they don't want to read all of that. You know, the SDD doesn't mean anything to them whatsoever. So like, I just kind of make it sound like fun. And I'll say, you know, basically I post on Facebook, I chat to people about the product, and I help people lose weight and get healthy like I have. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in? And the majority of them, 99% of people say, yeah, it does. And then I say, right, okay, so I post on Facebook anything from 5 to 10 times a day. I blog my journey. I post about the product. I post testimonials. You know, is that something you would be interested in?
It sounds like you have got a DMO. It's just not maybe something that is structured, that you know, you haven't got it written down saying at 9 o'clock I do this and at 10 o'clock I do that. But
it's not
you are, I think the thing that's coming over is that what you do, you're consistent with doing it. Is that fair to say?
You have to, that is the key to anything when it comes to this business, is consistency with everything. Like, there's no point in going, right, I'm going to recruit this man, talking to loads of people, and then not following that up, not following these people up who've liked your posts, you've made interaction with, not putting any recruiting posts up. You know, you have to do it consistently every single month. Otherwise, those people.
When somebody, sorry, I'm interrupting here. When somebody likes your post, what do you then say to them? So it's somebody that you've not been in contact with before. So you've got a recruiting post and they haven't made a comment, they've just put a like. What would you then follow up with?
So what I tend to do is I'll send them something really basic. Like, I think it's really important that you show your personality. So what I say to somebody might not be what you would want to say, but I will just start it with something like, hi, lovely, I noticed you like my post. Are you interested in some information for joining my team? And the majority of people say, yes, please. So then that's when I'll just kind of go in, but I will never ever go in with this big, massive paragraph. I always go in and leave it with a question. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in? And then I'll talk a little bit more then and say, well, I blog my journey. Do you think you would be okay with posting on Facebook blogging your journey? And they'll say, yeah. So I kind of just leave it with little questions where I'm not forcing them. They're coming back to me and then they're thinking, yeah, actually I can do that. Yeah, I can do that as well. You know, and then some of them will ask about different profiles, and I'll explain that I started on my personal profile because I had 500 friends. That's 500 people that will trust me a hell of a lot more than they trust a stranger. Yeah. So you should always start in your personal profile, then it's up to you if you make a new one to move over, or you just change that into your Juice Plus profile. So yeah, we just kind of go through questions step by step just to make them feel comfortable, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. And just building a relationship, I guess.
That's it. And just making it fun and as simple as possible. And what I find is when they're ready, they start to ask the questions about the business rather than me bombarding them. They ask me the question and they say, right, okay, so how much commission will I earn? So I'll break it down. I say, right, okay, well, if you put on a shake order, you start off on 10%, you're going to be having, was it £14.40 for one shake customer? And then I'll break it down. If you sell shakes and premium capsules, because that's the plan you're on, if they're my Go customer, you earn X amount from one customer. It's as simple as that. So you're just kind of breaking it down and showing them how easy and simple it is.
It's keeping it simple and so that it's duplicatable. I've got to ask you this. So Dubai, you know, you started building in Dubai and you are the first person to have a QNMD come from Dubai. So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about how you got into Dubai and how this particular lady has got to queue already.
Okay, so when it comes to building out there, I can't particularly take the credit, mainly because Kath is a family member.
Right.
She's married to Damien, my husband's cousin. So we've known each other for the last 11 years since I've
Right.
met my husband. They've been living in Dubai for around 6 or 7 years, and obviously she's seen my progress on Facebook. I hit PMD, she was watching, and then we kind of knew we were going to launch in Dubai. I know it took a little bit longer than expected, but I said to her, look, Kath, this is going to be massive over there. Like, the potential you have is like the potential I had in Wales. Now, we always had James Knight and Sam O'Sullivan, we had Mark Colburn, everything in Wales, but they were mainly in Cardiff, Swansea kind of area, all the main
Yeah.
cities. I was in the valleys, and the valleys are kind of untouched. And that's what she had in Dubai. And I had to say to her, look, this is a massive, massive opportunity for you. You need to try it. If it's not for you, you can quit at any time. Just give it a go. So she signed up, and what she was doing to start off with, she wanted to try the products. She got her mum, her dad, her sister, everyone on the products over in the UK. And then her friends were over in Dubai, wanted to try the products, so she started shipping them over. She had her mum sending them over. And she hit, because she was selling all gold packages, platinum packages, because everyone in Dubai seems so cheap over here. £100 a month is nothing to them over in Dubai.
Yeah.
But she was selling all, she was shipping over the bars, the boosters, everything. And she had STD in no time at all. And then I said to her, right, okay, you need to get SC. And as it was, one of her customers who had lost so much weight, she was posting in my support group all the time. I said, you need to sign that woman up. You need to sign her up. She's fantastic. She's always posting. She loves the product. Offer the business opportunity. And that's what she done. So Carolyn, one of her first ever customers, joined her team. And she done exactly the same as Kath. She was really excited. She was shipping all these products over. So that month she got SCD, and Kath hit SC. So she actually hit SC in our UK as a UK distributor.
Right.
And then she had enough. She said, look, I'm fed up of shipping over. It's too much hassle for my mum, etc. So I'm just going to sit and wait until we launch. And I think that was in the August, and we didn't actually launch until the January.
Yeah.
So I said to her, look, okay, you're not going to be shipping products. Do me a favour, don't stop working. So what I had her doing for those 6 months was just constantly talking to people about the business opportunity and getting them excited for the launch. So we set up a group that she set it up. She set it up on her own accord, and she was adding all these potential customers in there. Anyone who inquired on Facebook, she was adding them in there, and she was posting all the videos and posting about the product and how excited she was for the launch. And she just built up all that excitement before we launched. So by the time January came, she'd had all of these people. I think she had about 100 people in this group, but I think about 30 definites joined up as soon as we launched, which was fantastic. So she just kind of had that head start, and and then with the launch she hit SSC, and I think it's within 3 months she's doubled that pay line to QNMD as well.
That's just
been fantastic.
Brilliant. Well done to Kath. So that's pass on our congratulations to her. I've got to fit this in as well. Give us your 5 top tips. Come on. What are your 5 top tips for success? Could you share those with us?
Okay, so I know everyone says this, but it's consistency, 100%. I think that you have to be consistent every single day. We all have off days. Just don't hide. Like, always remind people where you are, that you're still there. You may not want to post about Juice Plus, but just remind them that you're there, so they never ever forget your face, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So being consistent with posting and chatting to people. Oh God, this is so hard. My 5 top tips is so many. Again, I think being the product of the product, and not just taking the products, posting about them all of the time, showing people the health benefits, and I think that's definitely one of my top tips, because you need to show people these products work, not just from other people, but you too. And people do follow your journey. So it may not be that you've had to lose weight. It may be that your skin is better, your nails stronger, and your hair is getting longer. You know, just make sure you're posting all of these different things on Facebook just to show people. I think that's really, really important. Number 3, again, be you. Don't ever try to be anyone else. I got a team member constantly copies off Olivia Measure's statuses, but that's Olivia. Olivia can carry those statuses. She's perfect. Every quote she puts up is just Olivia. You need to be you. Like, I'm not from Olivia. I'm not the same as Olivia. I haven't got the same background. You know, I'm from the valleys. You know, I'm not a tiny little size 8, and I'm none of these things. So for me to be posting the same statuses as Olivia, it's not me. So you need to be you. You need to find
be authentic. Yeah,
definitely. And don't get caught up on the likes as well, because I think that's why a lot of people will copy somebody like Olivia, but she gets so many likes because she's being her. That is her. So just find you more than anything. Just find who you are and own it. You know, like, we're all unique, we're all different. Give people a reason to want to join you for being you more than anything. And what you'll find is you'll attract more people like you, people you want to work with more than anything. So what was that? That was number 3.
That's 3.
Okay, so that was keeping it real. God, I can't even think. Okay, another top tip, looking after your customers. I think that's really, really important. 1, you want them to get results, so they recommend you. 2, you know, if you're not in contact with them, you're going to get a really bad reputation. And 3, if you build up that communication with them, the chances are, if they're loving the product and they are interested in the business, they will join you. Remembering, your customer doesn't necessarily have to join you. They can join anyone. So you need to give them a reason to come back to you when they are ready to join the business as well. So customer retention is so important.
Well, can I just ask you, sorry, just interrupting there, what would you say your percentage of sort of having a customer and then them becoming a distributor? Have you ever looked at what your conversion rate is?
It's really hard to say, because I haven't got a massive amount of brand new customers. Now, every month I sign up 20 plus customers, always. And I don't remember a month that I haven't had 20 plus customers.
Wow.
But they're not brand new customers, because I've been doing this for, say, 3.5 years now. Like, when I first started, like I said, there's such a big customer base. It's a lot of people coming back to me as well. It's a lot of people coming back for the shakes again because they've gained weight back, or they tried the shakes, now they want to try the boosters, or now they're ready to try the premium capsules. So it's hard to say, because not all my customers are brand new. I would probably say 70% of my customers are returning customers.
That's fantastic.
But I always spend a Sunday night chatting to my customer. That's my day. A Sunday, or a Sunday morning, or a Sunday evening, when I'm sat down and I'm working. What I find with the Sundays, a lot of people, especially where I'm from anyway, they go out drinking on a Saturday night. A lot of people are hungover, and they're always dreading work on a Monday. I used to dread work on a Sunday, and I used to work on a Tuesday. So, like, I would be there morning and whinging Sunday and Monday, ready for work on the Tuesday. So imagine how these people are in the 9 till 5 jobs that don't want to go on a Sunday, and there you are chatting to your customer, and then you're just panting, oh, I had a few drinks last night, I'm a little hungover, and I usually leave to them going, yeah, me too. So then I'll say something like, right, have you got work tomorrow as well? Because I was really tired on a Monday. And then they'd be like, yeah, I'm dreading it. And then you just put it in there. Well, you know what? I've got a fantastic business opportunity if you're interested. And then they either say yes or no. But at least you put it out there. You're not being salesy, you're just putting it out there in conversation. Like I said, I like to keep it real. I like to have a drink on a Saturday night. So I will tell them if I'm hungover. I'm a real person. So yeah, that's just kind of how I make a conversation with more than anything. And then you've planted that seed, whether they come back and say yes or no, at least you've put it out there. But make sure you offer it to every single customer, regardless who they are. Because I just think that anyone, who would have thought I would have been any good at this business? I was an ex-barmaid, for God's sake. You know, like, nobody ever knew what I would do or how I would make in this business. You know, I know like Sinead's got a degree in marketing, so you expect people like Sinead to be amazing, but not people like me from the valleys, you know. So
But I think it's because you're so real.
yeah.
You know, your enthusiasm, your passion, that's obviously come over. You know, it is what it is, and you attract people because of that, because you're you, and that's brilliant. Now I've got to ask you, what has been your highest point? So this 3.5 years journey, the highest, and then I'm going to say what's the lowest, because I think for everybody on the call and anybody that's going to listen in, it's, you know, our business is like life. You know, you get the highs, but you get lows as well. You know, that is life. So share with us what's been your highest and your lowest points.
Okay, so realistically speaking, I should be saying PMD is my highest point, but my highest point was in EMD, because going back to my lowest point, I was stuck at IMD for a whole year. So it's an IMD within 5 months. Bear in mind, you know, I skipped all these promotions and I done it so quick. I then got stuck at IMD for a whole year. So my lowest point, I hit IMD at a pay line of £70,000, because it was easier then. We only needed a £60,000 pay line. I hit IMD with £70,000 pay line. And by the time it came to reconfirming, because obviously I'd skipped all of these promotions, so by the time it came to reconfirming IMD, it was 9 months later, and my pay line dropped down to £40,000, which meant I was going to lose my bonus. So I had to work my socks off that month, and luckily with January, so we managed to gain, with such a small team at the time, so I lost a lot of my team in that 12 months. We managed to jump to £60,000, so £20,000 in a month, and I scraped reconfirming IMD by the skin of my teeth. Oh. And that was the lowest point for me, because I realised how much I let my team drop, let it slip. I took my foot off the pedal. I was spawning off spending all this money on holidays and stuff, and I really wasn't working like I should have been. But then this is why hitting EMD was the biggest point for me, because in the January my pay line was on 40, starting off. I ended December on £40,000. So to get it up to £60,000 was a godsend. I got my bonus in the March. By August, I hit EMD, so I went from £40,000 starting in January. In August, I went up to £120,000.
Wow. Wow.
For me, I was just like, I've done it. Like, I can do this. Kind of, do you know that feeling where you think, well,
I can do it.
That's it. How many times have you heard people say, oh, you know, it's saturated, we can't get customers, no more recruiting? That was me. That was me when I was stuck at IMD. I didn't think there was any more customers left, or anyone else was going to join my team, or any of that. So to turn my business around was massive for me. So hitting EMD was just, it was the best feeling in the world, because I was like, yes, I've got it back. I've turned my business around. The best feeling in the world. And obviously PMD comes 3 months later as well then, which was a fantastic, you know, I felt fantastic. But EMD was definitely...
And I can see that. I mean, what you achieved in that, you know, relatively short time is phenomenal. I mean, God, I bow down to you. I mean, it's just...
It wasn't me though. I can't take the credit. That was
no. Team. I know it's the team, but you were the driving force, and kind of, you know, as you say, you've taken your foot off the gas. It did slip, but you kind of were focused. You knew you could do it, and you went all out to do it. So I mean, that is fantastic.
I definitely think that Michelle, you know what I'm like with confidence and public speaking and everything else. I definitely feel like that held me back. Because it's in the IMD, I was always looking at all of these people, Katie Ravy, Sinead Kavanagh, you know, Emma Sned, Emma Karen, all of these people, and I compared myself to them, and it really set me back. I just, you know, you just don't feel like you're good enough. So then I think that changing your mindset is really, really important, to always believe that you're good enough, to always see yourself up there regardless. Because
you and I have had these conversations in the past, because I remember interviewing you at Bournemouth. On stage, do you remember? And you were so nervous coming out, and then you just talked, and you just were so comfortable and confident on stage. Nobody would even have guessed what had gone on behind stage.
I was actually so nervous that I can't even remember what I said.
But you talk such sense, and it is right from the heart, and I think that's what comes over. And you know I remember saying to you in the past, that to have that to believe in yourself because you've got it and everybody else sees it, but you just didn't yourself. But I've seen you grow and your confidence has grown massively. And you know, we're all listening now, you know, we're listening, hanging on to every word that you're saying, and you know, the content that you're sharing with us is absolutely fantastic. So I've just got to fit in a couple more questions. What are your goals then for the rest of this year? So, you know, here we are halfway through the year. What are your goals?
Okay, so personal goals, I'm quite happy that with what I've achieved, Club 100 and PMD, I'm more than happy with that. So for me, my biggest goals has got to be getting my team to the top more than anything. I want to see my whole team winning, and I really, really do. I had this conversation with Simon Mitchell, and I said to him, more than anything, I want to prove to other people that it's not just us at the top that earn the big money and get to go up on stage, and that then the other people working their socks off and not actually getting it anyway. I want to prove to everyone that there's room at the top for everyone. More than anything, I want to see my team up on that stage. I want to get like 50 NMDs in my team as soon as I can. But realistically, by the end of the year, I think that I can get 3 new NMDs by the end of the year, realistically. We've definitely got our buzz back in the team. Everyone had a funny 5 minutes for a few months, I think. January, February, March wasn't quite what we expected. But it's picked up massively and the buzz is back for the team. And definitely, so my goal, I think, 3 brand new NMDs. I'd love to see at least 2 of them up on the stage in Liverpool. I think 1 can definitely get there. So just build. And
it's funny, isn't it? I think as exciting as it is when you reach all of those positions, somehow when your team gets there, when any one single person in your team gets to a position, you're kind of even more excited than you ever were for yourself. There's so much more of a buzz when they do it, isn't it? It's like your children. You just
wanted to be a top earner or any of the ones at the top. I'm quite happy that it's in PMD was enough for me. So I just want to see the rest of them now just blossom and get to where they want to be and change their lives more than anything, because it's changed my life so much. And I know it sounds really cheesy, but it has massively. It's changed everything that, you know, my whole life. And I just want everyone to feel the same, experience the same, really.
So I've just got to squeeze in one more question before we open it up to questions. So for the new people on the call that are listening perhaps for the first time, how would you describe the excitement of the opportunity that we've got? So where we are right now with Juice Plus, just sort of put that into a few words, that excitement of actually what we've got.
Oh God, we've got the best product on the market. Do you know, like, there isn't nothing like it. As soon as any of my team say, right, okay, I've been offered this opportunity over Juice Plus, instantly I'm like, you know what, that would be the craziest thing you'll ever do, because what we have in front of us is special, and there's no other word other than special. The health benefits, the weight loss, the everything about it, it's just the best thing ever. Honestly, I couldn't imagine my life without Juice Plus. Every single morning without fail, I take my products, I feel amazing, you know, everything about it is just fantastic. There is never ever going to be another product like this on the market. People try and copy us, but it'll never ever work, ever. It's just, honestly, there's just nothing out there like it. It's really not.
Well, you've summed that up beautifully, you know, and I love your passion and your excitement. You know, it's what's taken you from the barmaid at the golf club to PMD where you are now. So I thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, I've learnt loads. I've been scribbling away here. I know everybody else on the call will have learnt loads. Can I just open it up just for a few minutes to see if there is any questions, Callie? Are you okay if we do that? So if anybody's got a question, if you want to unmute yourself, see if there's anything on the chat. No. Does anybody want to unmute themselves to ask Callie a question? You've got a golden opportunity here. It's okay. Just I'll ask a question then. So say that you've got somebody that you want to approach. You know, you've sort of followed them on Facebook or on social media, how do you actually, if they haven't come to you, so a lot of what you were saying, people have actually liked your post or they've already made a comment. If there's somebody that you want to approach, perhaps to come into the business, how would you go about asking them?
So this is a funny one because I've actually done this. You know, there's somebody you really want to join your team.
Yeah.
Every time they post a picture, they get so many likes. They're gorgeous, they're thin, they look the part. And I just think to myself, she's so popular. She always gets so much attention. Imagine her being able to start up. She'd have such a great head start with Juice Plus because of her audience already.
Yeah.
But there was this one girl and she would always like and comment on my things. And I thought to myself, I need to make a conversation with her. But I didn't know how to start it. I just couldn't think what to say. So this one morning, I messaged her and I said, Emma, I had a dream about you last night. And she said, okay. So I dreamt you joined my team. How crazy is that? Now, I wasn't even telling the truth. I just wanted to make a conversation with her. So I just said, look, I had a dream you joined my team last night. Have you ever thought about joining my team? I'm kind of thinking I'm psychic. And I just kind of made a joke out of it. And she said, yeah, you know what? I have thought about joining your team, actually. And then we kind of went into it, you know, and just had a little conversation. Like you said before, I just kind of asked her a few questions, like how comfortable she would be posting on Facebook and if she'd be interested in the products. And I just kind of said how she'd have a great head start with her audience and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you know, I
like that one.
I just made a bit of fun with it. And, yeah, you know, she
joined. And it worked. It worked. She joined.
So, but I think that, again, it goes back to being real and using your initiative, like how you would want to come across to someone. That wouldn't be for everyone, but just kind of have a bit of fun with it and, you know, just be you more than anything.
Oh, brilliant. Listen, Callie, you've been absolutely fantastic. A real superstar. I know we've kept you a little bit longer than I promised, but thank you so much for your time. I know you've given up your evening and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody watching. Appreciate your time as well. And we'll put this out. I'll get the recording and I'll send you so you can send it out to your team as well.
Fab. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for joining.